Hey there, everybody. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy, and I got an interesting subject for you. Now, anybody remembers me talking a few months ago about the whole Nintendo contractor thing that went down? Well, we got another set of controversy that is in the same vein. Even though when Nintendo let go of those contractors, they weren't firing anyone, they were just sending them back to their firm. And the ones that they hired on. But there's been an article that came out about Nintendo not giving credit to freelancers who got work with them through a firm for translations and localization work. So I'll say this immediately. I do sympathize with the people that would like to receive the credit for their work and would like to be known for their work. But this is another situation where you are contracted out from a third-party company. You're not a part of Nintendo proper, so you don't get credit from Nintendo proper. And again, I understand that there are people that want to receive credit for that, for the work that they do. I get it. I totally do understand that. But at the same time, I'm also looking at this like, you work for a firm that did work for Nintendo, and Nintendo credited the firm. Nintendo credited the firm that did the work for them. You are a part of that firm, therefore that's where the credit was given. They paid the firm who paid you. Nintendo themselves didn't pay you. So it's kind of one of those situations, and that's also depending on how the contract with Nintendo and whatever companies they have do that sort of work for them is set up. Because if the company that you're working for doesn't set in stone that you have to be credited or that you have the option to be credited, then Nintendo isn't legally obligated to do it, unfortunately. Again, I understand where there are some people that want to receive the credit for the work, and then there are others who do understand, but like, okay, well, it's a job that I'm a temporary employee for them. I'm not directly employed through them. I'm employed through someone else as a freelancer. And that's how they get their freelancers, is through a firm, a third-party firm. So if they're getting their freelancers through a third-party firm to do work for them, they don't have to specifically credit those people, because that's not a part of their contract with the firm they're working with. Now, if you have a problem with that, then you would have to talk to the people you work for. You don't work for Nintendo, you work for someone else doing a job for Nintendo. Again, this is being a contractor. A freelancer is a contractor. It's just another way to say it. So, unless it is specified in the contract, you are not going to receive credit. And then people are upset that they have to sign NDAs. Yes, everyone has to sign NDAs, and certain people aren't allowed to talk about things, even if they work on them. Just simply put, that's how it works. It's one, to keep information from leaking out where it shouldn't go, as we have seen time and time again. Lots of information has been leaked. And two, it protects everyone legally. It might not be what you want, but it's the situation you're in unless you end up working directly for the company. But even then, you're still under strict NDAs. There's just that your NDAs may allow you a little bit more leeway to talk about certain things once they get to a certain point. But that's how it works. I don't see the point in everybody getting mad at Nintendo for crediting the companies that they got the work from and not the individual people, when those individual people don't work for Nintendo, they work for those companies. That would have been like me getting mad at the job I was working, the company I was working for when I was working security, paying me, but not the place I was working at paying me. That's not how it works. You were contracted out to do a job. You did the job. You got your payment from your company. Unless Nintendo said, oh yeah, we loved your work, we want to hire you in, like they did with a bunch of contractors, it's just kind of how things are going to be. And for people to get upset and uproar over it, it's like, do y'all understand how this stuff works? How can you not understand how this works? Or are you being disingenuous? I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt and say that people just don't understand how that particular thing works. But it's weird to give them that. It is being super generous to give them that, because I would think that people have been doing this stuff for years would understand how these things work. You can't be upset with Nintendo for adhering to their contract. They're adhering to the contract that they have with the company that they got the work done with, which means that they have to credit the company, which is the entity that they paid, not the individual people, because they don't pay the individual people. They pay the company. See how that works? They paid their people that are on their staff, so those people got credited in their games because they directly pay those people. But they paid a company for your assistance, which means they didn't directly pay you. They paid the company's rate, which you got a part of, which is why the company that you worked for or worked under got the credit. Like right now, I do, I mean, I don't do it all the time, but I do playtesting. Unless I am working directly for Nintendo, Ubisoft, Microsoft, Sony, EA, Capcom, any of those companies, unless I'm working directly for them, and if I did a playtest on any of their products, the company I worked for or worked under for the playtesting scenario that they gave us is who's going to receive credit, not me. There are actually a couple third-party games out right now that I've done playtesting for. I can't say jack squat about. I can't say anything about. I can't even tell you what companies I did it for. But that's just how it works. Like, you can't be mad at them for following the process. You can't be upset with them for following the process, for following the contract. Because that's not how it works. So that's why I'm like, people, chill out. Like, again, if y'all really want your names in those end credits, then either one, you need to do an outstanding job to the point that they want to hire you in, or two, you're going to need to bark at the company that you work for, the firms that you're doing these things for, and try to get them to renegotiate their contract. And if it's not a value proposition that's worth it for them, expect that they won't do it. It's as simple as that. Like, either way, you're doing the job, you're getting paid for the job. Because I haven't heard anybody complain about not getting paid. It's just that they don't get credit, but they're part of a third-party firm that was licensed out to Nintendo. If that's the case, then they've credited who they were supposed to, which was the company that did help them and assist them. I know it sucks. It's not the best, but hey, that's how things work out, man. That's how it goes. And people got to start understanding that. Like, you can't just have it your way all the time. There are rules to things. And again, and I say that from a position of experience, not as some random that just, oh man, y'all need to stop complaining and bellyaching. I empathize with you, because I would love my name to be in the credits of a couple of those games that I did help work on. Even if my time spent was brief, I still did playtesting for several different games. I would love my name to be in the credits on those games, but it's not. And that's for console, PC, and mobile. So I've done all three. I already know the companies that I've worked with, they'll be in the credits. I won't be. The only games my name is going to be in the credits on are the ones that I helped do crowdfunding for. And there's a few of them, but I'm not going to say which ones. But people, chill out on this. It's not the end of the world. You just either one, got to step your game up, or two, you've got to be involved in so many projects yourself that people get interested in you and having you work for their company specifically. It's going to be one of those two. Again, I empathize, but it's just not how the thing works. It's not how the industry works. Which is unfortunate, but that's where things are right now. But I mean, I'm not going to drag this subject out too much longer. I think I've made enough of a point and said what I had to say. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Thank you guys very much for listening in. Keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me. And until the next time, enjoy your games. Peace out, everybody. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy, and I'd like to thank you once again for tuning in. If you would be interested in supporting my efforts in content creation, please head on over to Amazon and look up The Game Idea Guy Presents Gaming Word Search, and you will find both Volume 1 and Volume 2 up for sale. Thank you very much once again, and I hope to be able to create more content for you in the future. Peace out.